Let me show you a feature of Gutenberg that will play a very big part of its future, and that's block patterns. Now, I say future because it depends on the theme that you're using for your site. Some themes support block patterns, some don't, but I'm using this theme called Generate Press. It's very well known, widely used, and I'm going to demonstrate the block patterns feature of the Gutenberg block editor right now. So with the inserter, click on that, and you see right over here the word patterns. So let's go to that. Now, patterns are nothing more than just like sections of pages that you can use in your website. So right over here in this drop down, you can see they have buttons, columns, gallery, header, text. Let's just look at buttons for a second and you'll get the idea. So it's sort of like pre-built, and then you can edit this to whatever you want. Change the colors, change the links, all that kind of stuff. Well, I'm not going to use buttons for this demonstration. I just wanted to show you that real quick. What I am going to use, go to patterns and columns. Let's go over to columns. And for the first of these two demonstrations, I want to show you the two columns with text and images. Okay, so you can see it's sort of like a little bit of a template, right? That populates part of your page. And you can say like, well, I don't really like these images. I don't blame you. So you can replace all of this with your own content. So I'm just going to do that right now. I'm going to replace this image. I'm just going to go into my media library, select this image over here. I'm going to do the same thing for over here. Click on replace. Go to the media library. Let's pick out this image right over here. Okay. And then, of course, I would change the content over here to fit the images. Now, one thing I want to do before I add a subheading is check the construction of the page. That is, I want to understand like how the blocks relate to each other. So I'm just going to click right over here, and down over here you would see the words document, group, columns, column, image. And that's the progression or the construction of the page. If I click on the word group, you'll now see an outline of everything in the group block. So in other words, the images and the paragraphs. But right above the group, I want to put in a subheading. So go to the three dots, put in insert before, because that's exactly what I want to do. And now I want to put in a heading. Put in a heading over here. It just so happens that I have a heading ready to go. I want to align my heading. So here we go. And that's it. I'm done with this. So I've just made a little bit of a change, but you get the idea that you can use pre-built sections. They're like little templates actually, and you can do whatever you want with them. Of course, you can also save this for use later on, that is to use on another page if you like this pattern, but I'm not going to do that. We're just going to leave it just the way it is. I am going to get rid of this. Yeah, all I'm doing is reversing what I did. Now I can just, again, click over here, click on groups, and I'm just going to hit the delete key, and everything disappeared. That's fine. Let me show you one other example of block patterns, and that is go over here, go back to patterns. Again, the drop down. Now these options, by the way, they're going to change based on the theme that you're using. So some themes are going to have a lot of different options here. Some themes may not have this at all. And I'm going to click on columns again, and this time with no, just text alone. Okay, so now I always like to know how the page is built, or in this case, how this pattern is built. And I could go down over here like I did before and see that it's a document, group, and then so forth. But there's another way to do this, to navigate through the blocks. And there's this option over here called list view. I happen to like this one better because it's easier to see and work with. And so now it's telling me in this box that I'm in the group box. I click on the group box. You can see that there's a line that goes all the way around the group block. And over here, if I want to see where the heading is, I just click on that. Okay, I get it. There's the toolbar for the heading. Again, if I want to see where, oh, columns. Oh, that's interesting. So I now have a border that goes all the way around the columns block. And last I want to show you is, let's say, inside of a column, inside of the columns block, there's a column. I know it gets a little confusing. Here's the column. If I want to see that other column, and you can see before I click on it, column, and then inside the column is a paragraph. So it's just like an outline. And this is really the structure of your document. Okay, so that's good. Now I want to do the following. I want to add a background to the group. So, okay, group. Now I'm going to go over here. And you can see the block that I've selected is group. Color settings, I want to add a dark background. Perfect. Now I want to change the font color for the paragraphs and for the subhead. So how do I do that? Well, what I'll do is, again, navigate to over here, click on columns. Okay, perfect. And now you'll see that I'm in the columns block, color settings, text, too much fun. And I'm now going to do the heading. This time I just clicked inside of the heading. I want to make sure I'm in the heading block. Yes, I am. Color settings. And this time, let's use this. And voila, all done. So there you have it. The block patterns are really templates that can be inserted into your page, and you can customize these to suit your needs.